Welcome to the Sales Lab.
One of the things, Willy, when I interview people, I will say to them, what's more important, motivation or discipline? It's a little bit of a trick question because there actually is an answer. I think there's an answer. I'm going to tell you a story. I have a very, very good friend. He actually happens to work at ABI Research. He is a legit world-class marathon runner. And I needed some running shoes. I don't run nearly as much as him. And he said, Harvey, you've got to get these shoes. These are amazing shoes. They're $250 for these shoes, most I've ever spent. So I get them. They show up. It's about 9:30 at night, and they're black, and it's this nylon or polyester, whatever the thing is. It's some space-age material. The tread is absolutely amazing. I put them on. I literally have a spring in my step when I'm walking. And so I'm laying in bed, and I cannot wait for that alarm to go off at 5 a.m. and go for a run. It's motivation, right? I'm motivated.
Yep.
I feel like Eliud Kipchoge, right? Day one, right? He's the guy who I think has the world record about 2 hours in the marathon. You know what I have in 6 weeks when I wake up? Running shoes.
Indeed.
But what I also have is when that alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I've got that choice to make, which is, hey, I get out and run and I'm not really into it that day, or I've got that, I like to call it the chorus of morons in my head saying, stay in bed, hit the snooze button, eat a muffin, right? Or get up and go work out, right? And that's the discipline. And I can control that. I can control that because I have a decision. What I can't control is the motivation. And I can rely on my discipline every single day. Motivation's great, but I don't know when it's going to be there.
Yeah. So the motivation, what you're saying, sort of happens to you. You just have to work around it. If you have it, good. If you don't, you still got to do what you got to do.
Yes, exactly.
And so if I'm a young person and I'm looking around at my competitors, I just got hired into a company, I'm feeling maybe outgunned. What would be some of the practical ways that I would practice discipline and demonstrate this to maybe my boss and myself?
I think the first thing that you need to do is you have to want or be willing to do those things. Is you have to set some goals and say, these are my endpoints of where I want to get to. And I understand. And by the way, I work with young people a lot. I love working with them. We have some on our team at ABI Research. But you have to have a goal in mind that you want to get to. And in fact, if I still do this, age 57, I write down my goals. I have my goals hanging up on my bathroom mirror, and I see them every morning.
Yep. You've
got to have a goal as to where you want to get. And then you have a choice to make. Do I go out with my friends on Wednesday night, and do we go drinking and tear up the town, knowing I've got a presentation at 8 a.m.? Or am I going to prep the night before? Am I going to get a good night's sleep? Do a workout in the morning? I'm ready to go. You got to make those choices. And you got to say, well, what are the trade-offs? By the way, I'm not saying don't go have fun. Just move it to Friday night, move it to Saturday night, right? Yeah. I think the other thing that it is really important is you've got to listen. You've got to listen to the people. You're going to have one or two people at your company who really want to help you, genuinely. It's like they're almost saying, let me be your mentor. And you've got to break through. And I had a huge ego back in the day, and I didn't want to listen to anyone in my 20s. Luckily, a couple of people broke through, and I was able to listen. Let me ask you a question. Do you know who Ignaz Semmelweis is? Have you heard of that name?
Ooh, I have not heard of this name, no.
Okay. He was a Hungarian physician in the early and mid 1800s. And back then, bacterial infection was really, really common in the reproductive tract of women who were giving birth. So he had this idea, how do I reduce infection? And what he came up with was that physicians should disinfect their hands. Really? They should wash their hands. That was his idea, right? The medical establishment laughed at him. They made fun of him. They ridiculed him. He was totally rejected and dismissed because they said, no, we've been doing it this way for years. They didn't listen to him. He ended up having a nervous breakdown. He was committed to an asylum, and he died shortly thereafter.
Nice.
And the thing was, you've got to listen to people, and it may not be necessarily the person that you think it is. Be open-minded and willing to hear that idea. Be willing to do something different just because we've always done it this other way. Be open to that idea. And if you are open to those things and you give them a try, you're going to find out that some of them will work.